Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a pick a card reading looking at your next week's energy. We're going to start doing these every week for you guys. These are going to be going up on YouTube on Saturdays, so you have the weekend to kind of take a look at this and prepare for your next week ahead, particularly if you have like an important event, an interview, just something big going on. You'll kind of have kind of a heads up on what energies you'll be working with there. This is something, like I said, we'll be doing this weekly. Also, if you have any other ideas, requests, like pick a card, topic request, please leave them down in the comment section below. I always read those comments and respond to them. So please let me know if you have any suggestions or topics that you'd like to see read over. I'd be happy to do those for you and incorporate those into our readings every week. So let's go ahead and hop into this. We have 3 piles here for you guys to choose from. Each one is represented by a Woman of Myth from the Women of Myth Oracle deck. We have pile number 1 here with Huidaka, the goddess, and her keyword or kind of key phrase is the wild. And I'm going to read a couple of little things from the guidebook about her real fast. So her story is she's the goddess of sex, drunkenness, fertility, and fun of the Muisca. Probably butchered that. They're an indigenous Colombian people. She was cursed for disobeying the rules, and so she transformed her punishment of having been turned into a nocturnal creature into her strength, partying and making love well into the night. So that is pile number 1. If you feel like any of that resonates for you, you can go ahead and go down to the timestamp below. I'll also have the timestamps pinned in the top comment for you as well. But anyways, let's move over here to Princess Bari, the heroine, and her key phrase is the healer. Let me get to her here. So her keywords are healing, knowledge, and mediation. Her story is that though she was abandoned by her family, the Korean Princess Bari, the 7th and unwanted daughter of the king and queen, travels to the underworld to find a cure for her parents' illness. So if that is something that you feel resonates for you, if you resonate with her story, you can go down, click pile number 2. That reading will be there for you. And then we have Perchta, the monster, and her key phrase is the Punisher. And her story is that she was coming from the oral traditions of Bavarian Austria. Perchta is a Yule demon who rewards the most domesticated homes with silver, but tortures and kills wayward women and children. And her 3 keywords are overworked, perfectionist, and punishment. So if you feel like you resonate with this card feels like it's calling to you, go ahead, click on pile number 3, and I will see you guys in your respective readings. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen Huidaka, the goddess, with the keyword the wild. Here's her card for you. You can kind of see it a little bit better here. And then I'm going to go ahead and read her story for you again. And it is that she is a goddess of sex, drunkenness, and fertility and fun of an indigenous Colombian people. She was cursed for disobeying the rules, and she transformed her punishment of having been turned into a nocturnal creature into her strength, partying and making love well into the night. She is known for sex, magic, and defiance. So that is the card that you've chosen. I have a feeling this is going to kind of be your energy coming up here. Maybe you're going to be having some fun here. Maybe you're going to be doing something like that. Maybe a celebration, or maybe turning a situation that might have initially seemed kind of gloom, seemed like a curse, kind of turn that into a strength or turn that around for you, pile number 1. So let's go ahead. We'll put her over here for you. We'll get some more cards. I've got a couple of other decks we're going to pull from here. First of all, we're going to get an herbal astrology card to kind of go along with your reading here. For pile number 1, we're going to take a look at your energy for this next week. I feel like this is the one that wants to come out. And you have the Blue Lotus with Intuition. So it looks like this card is, or this herb is ruled by the sun and the moon, which is really interesting, that duality there, which is also really neat to see come out with this card, because she really made the best of being kind of forced to be a nocturnal night creature. So really experiencing that sun energy, that happy, joyous energy, while also being, ooh, my cards fell, while also being kind of restricted to the night here. We'll look in the book too once we get to it, and see a little bit more about this card and the energy with this one. But I definitely see some duality here with both, possibly even maybe this energy of balancing work and fun, something like that. But let's go ahead and get your tarot cards, and we'll take a look to see what the energy is that you will be entering into over this next week. So for pile number 1, we have that card, those 3. I feel like this one wanted to come out, that one. So let's take a look here and see what we have for you. We have the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Hermit card. And I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more cards here for you guys as well. We'll just draw them right off the top here. So we have the Moon, and then we have the 10 of Wands. Okay. Okay, pile number 1. I had to take a minute and cover some imagery here on these cards. YouTube's guidelines are really, really strict, with no nudity at all. It says for like no nudity with the intent of sexual gratification, but I guess the algorithm has a hard time determining between that and just artful, you know, tasteful nudity. So anyways, had to cover those up, but we're going to go ahead and get started here with your reading. So I apologize for that and for the bit of weird editing here that's going to kind of happen as a result of that. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get started with this energy. This is the energy that we're going to be looking at for your next week. I am definitely seeing a bit of duality here, kind of like what we saw in these cards for you, pile number 1, with the 3 of Pentacles and the Hermit. These two are standing out at me immediately. And the 3 of Pentacles talks about working together in a group to accomplish something here. And then the Hermit talks about really going within and being alone and taking some time to be on your own and maybe even process things. So it's just really interesting here to see that. We also have some duality here between the Queen of Wands, King of Pentacles, this very kind of, I mean, the Queen of Wands isn't necessarily a masculine energy, but she is definitely partially ruled by the sun, by Leo. So these are energies of being very extroverted, of being very confident. The King of Pentacles is also kind of represented with that, or kind of represents that divine masculine energy, confidence, at ease. He has like a decent amount of red on here, and she does as well, honestly. So we're kind of looking here at like this earthy, grounded energy here, but then we also have that kind of, the duality with that and the Moon card here, which is a little bit darker, a little bit more, intuition focused, here as well. So it looks like this week you're definitely going to be, playing 2 sides kind of came in, is kind of what I'm hearing here. And that kind of makes me think too of the 6 of Pentacles here, where there's kind of like 2 sides to you. We've got this blue gift and this red gift, and it's like she's weighing these things, trying to decide who receives what. So it might be that this week you are going to have to kind of make some choices about who deserves your energy, what deserves your energy, and when it is like, when it is best for you to maybe be a bit more outgoing, maybe give a little bit more of your time to others here, and when it's time, or like give a little bit more of your time, your energy to others, and when you need to be giving a little bit more time to yourself here. Six of Cups talks a lot about children, about the inner child, and that's really something that I'm seeing is it's like you're gonna find a balance here, or the energy here is that you will be called to find a balance between self and others here, okay? Kind of night and day, light and dark here. Now, I do see with the Ten of Wands that this might be a little bit of a struggle here. You might feel that there are some people really pulling on you, wanting your attention, wanting you to give your energy when you don't have the energy to give, okay? Or when you don't have the time to give. There are many times in our lives where we kind of have to make a choice between our own goals and others' goals, or satisfying others, spending time with others. There's times when that happens, you know, when you have maybe a lot of friends who want to go out, they want to do something, they want to go to brunch, go to whatever, but you're like, I really need to clean the house. You know, I really need to go grocery shopping. I really need to study. I really need to do whatever it is that, you know, whatever it is that your goals are that you're working on too. I also feel a little bit too here with the Three of Pentacles and the Hermit, kind of thinking about school and studying. It's almost like determining whether or not you want to do kind of a group study, or if you want to do kind of an individual thing and do your own thing, study on your own. It's kind of something that I'm feeling here. You might be in school. If so, that might really resonate with you. If you're not in school and you're just kind of out there working, like this could definitely be the difference between going home at the end of the day, opening up the laptop, turning on the TV, watching some Netflix, allowing yourself to kind of rest, be alone, versus going out after work to hang out with your work friends and do something fun, you know? So that can definitely, that can definitely be kind of your situation here. I do feel though, like you're going to be called with the Moon card to use your intuition and do what feels best for you in this situation. Remember to prioritize yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be in groups, spend time with people. It can be really revitalizing, rejuvenating to be in groups, but it can also kind of sap our energy too, kind of depending on where we're at personally, you know, mentally, emotionally. It just kind of all depends on where we're at, what's going on in our lives. I do feel too, I'm seeing a lot of like earthy energy here. That's something that's really standing out to me is like the placement of everyone's feet on this card. You have that she has 1 foot on the ground, her legs crossed. So this one's kind of up in the air. He has 1 foot on the ground, legs crossed. We've got up on the air. We've got like leaning more on 1 foot, up on the other here. Same with her. She's just got like 1 foot solidly on the ground, the other one's kind of up. Same with this one, same with these figures, same with her. Like that's something that's really standing out to me. So there's definitely going to be this energy of, like I said, balance here, finding a nice balance that works for you. You notice like just because they have, you know, 1 foot down more than the other, it's not that they're nearly stumbling over. There's just a balance here. And I feel like that is something that you're going to be called to do this upcoming week. Pile number 1 is to find a nice balance that works for you. Find a nice balance between giving to others and giving back to yourself here. I do see 2 King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. You are going to feel very confident though this week. You should really be feeling fairly successful too in whatever it is that you're working on this week, working towards. Like I said, with the Ten of Wands, I do see that maybe finding this balance is going to be a little bit challenging, and you might have to set some boundaries with some people. Say, hey, look, you know, as much as I'd love to go out with you guys, or I know I said I was going to do that. I really think that I need to just go home, chill out. I'm just not, you know, I'm feeling worn out, worn down, tired, whatever it may be, you know, or it may not even be that you're not feeling well. It just may be that you need to go ahead and fill your own cup. up so that you don't get to that point. You know, we can't pour from an empty cup, and it's important to never let our cup totally run dry. Pile number 1. I think that that's something that's really important here, and that's something that's kind of jumping out at me too with your Blue Lotus card here. We see one side you've got this water pouring out, and the other side it's almost like it is kind of smoke coming out, but I almost feel like it's going back in to a certain extent. I know that that's not really what the imagery is exactly, but that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like it's like this balance between pouring out to others, you know, and giving to others, and then giving to yourself and resting and relaxing here, you know. Also a balance between reacting to the outside world and listening to your intuition, possibly too, a little bit. I would like to take a look at this Blue Lotus card with intuition on it here and kind of see what the keywords are here for you. So give me just a moment. I'm going to grab that guidebook. All right, so Blue Lotus intuition, the keywords or key phrases are intuitive knowing, unearthing the subconscious, meeting the guardians of mystery, dream work, and initiation. And the astrological ruler is the sun and the moon. The Blue Lotus is associated with the Egyptian sun god Ra, the ruler and bringer of light. It was used in religious rites and ceremonies led by shamanic priests to induce a trance state so one could communicate with the gods. It was also used in funerary ceremonies after the death of a loved one, as Blue Lotus is said to assist the soul in entering the light. Let's see. It's also a revered flower of the sun. It embodies both solar and lunar elements chemically, contains a natural antispasmodic relaxant called Nucifera, which represents that, which is what the moon energy is kind of going on with, along with eporphine, which produces a sense of euphoria and bliss. These alkaloids, among other medicinal components, bring about pain relief, stress relief, and lucid awareness. All right, so I think that's really here with the Blue Lotus. That's just kind of some info about that. I think it's going to be really important. There's like a big focus on intuition with this card. And I think it's going to be really important to use your intuition to know when it's time when it'd be best for you to kind of take it easy, give to yourself, and when it'd be best to, or when it would be okay for you to go ahead and go out and give to others and give that energy to others and be around others. But I do see that, you know, while initially it might be feel like it's a bit of a struggle to set these boundaries or to make those choices, I do feel that in the end, especially by the end of the week, you're going to feel very confident in your choice here, in your abilities to do this. I think that this is going to be a really great exercise and practice for you in setting boundaries, maintaining those boundaries here. Remember that boundaries are meant to protect you and to protect your energy, not to convince people. Period. Like that's what your boundaries are meant for. So remember that it's meant, like I said, meant to protect you, not to convince others. So you don't have to necessarily convince other people or set these boundaries or state these boundaries in a way that convinces someone else. It's much more about just protecting yourself and your energy. So keep that in mind as you go forward with this week. Pile number 1. I'm going to pull one final oracle card for you from the Wild Whiskers Oracle, just to get a few keywords for you, kind of wrap this up, see if there's any final message for you here. That one, I thought it was going to come out and it said, nope, not me. So we have the graceful giraffe with growth, foresight, and vision. And it says, heavenward bound pillar, heighten my awareness and intuition. Okay. Like all the tarot readers say, you can't make this up, you guys. So, yeah, intuition is going to be a big thing for you. Trying to find the nice balance between that duality, possibly trying to turn a situation that I kind of feel like turning I don't know if a negative situation is the correct word, but turning a restriction into something positive, you know, kind of seeing that with a different light, seeing that in a different light, seeing that in a different perspective too with Huideca. But I think intuition, like I said, and duality, finding a nice balance between giving to yourself and giving to others is going to be really, really important. Your guides really want you to know that, yes, this is definitely an opportunity for growth. And this is going to really require that you use your intuition. I feel like they're going to come in and help you and heighten your awareness here too, to allow you to make the best choice, the choice that's best for yourself. But in the end of this week, I think you're going to feel really confident in your ability to not just set boundaries within this week, but then to continue to do that to protect your own energy while also having the time and the space for others. And so, you know, so we can give to others. So that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for watching your reading. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel so much. Also, if you have any pick a card topics or anything like that that you would like to see on the channel, leave those in the comments down below. I always read those. I will definitely include those in our weekly readings here. So I just want to thank your guys to close out for coming here and providing you with this message, looking at your next week. But I will see you guys in your next pick a card reading. Bye, pile number 1. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be taking a look to see what your next week's energy is going to kind of look like, so you can prepare for that and kind of be mindful of that as you begin your week. Like I said, this next week, what we're the time frame we're going to be looking at is from Sunday, this coming Sunday, like tomorrow, should be tomorrow after the day that this is put on YouTube. So tomorrow through next Saturday, we're going to start doing this every week for you guys. Well, I say we, I'm going to start doing this for you guys every week. Also, if you have any other ideas or topics that you would like to see on the channel, please go ahead and put them in the comments down below. I always read those. I'll take those into consideration 100%. We'll definitely incorporate those in the channel. So let me know what topics you guys would be interested in seeing pick a cards over, or any other topics you'd like me to talk about. I'd be happy to do that as well. So anyways, let's jump on into your reading. You have chosen Princess Bari, the heroine and the healer. So we are going to get in the guidebook and kind of take a look and see. I'll read her story for you again. Let's see here. So her keywords are healing, knowledge, and mediation. Her story is that though she was abandoned by her family, the Korean Princess Bari, the 7th and unwanted daughter of the king and queen, traveled to the underworld to find a cure for her parents' illness. Okay, so that is her story. We're going to put her over here a little bit. We're going to pull another oracle card for you guys. And then we'll get into your tarot and look at the energy coming up for you this next week. Something I am kind of seeing here with her card, kind of off the bat, is this almost like this selflessness, you know, this caring, this compassion, this selflessness. Even though she was abandoned, she still made a choice to go ahead and help her family in their darkest hour, really. So I think that that's a really interesting thing that's kind of coming up for me here. But let's go ahead and, like I said, let's get those herbal cards for you. We're gonna get another oracle card to just kind of see what your week is going to. Okay, so we had Coca with foresight. I really want to apologize for the wonky editing. YouTube's guidelines are super strict over nudity. It's only supposed to be nudity for like with the intent of sexual gratification. That's banned. But I guess the algorithm has a hard time determining like whether it's artful, tasteful nudity or for sexual gratification. So we're just doing a little bit of weird editing here, and we're just going to kind of block that out right there so we don't end up having to deal with all of that mess. But anyways, so you got the card Coca with foresight here. So I'm going to grab the guidebook and kind of take a look at this for you. I don't have all of these cards memorized yet. So let's take a look and see a little bit more about this card. Let's see, it's number 36. So 3, 6, those might be some those might be numbers that might mean something to you this week. Maybe, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday might end up being significant, or Friday might end up being significant. Or I guess that'd be Thursday, huh? Sunday would be the first day of the week. Monday's the second. Tuesday would be the third. Wednesday would be the fourth. Friday would be the fifth. Yeah, so actually Saturday, sorry. So Tuesday and Saturday might be important for you this week. We are going to be reading this as kind of from Sunday to Saturday is going to be the week that we're kind of looking at. But let's go ahead and find Coca. Okay, foresight. So this is an herb of Uranus here. It's also ruled by Venus. So it says, upright is supernatural powers, ability to see universal truth, genius, spiritual guidance, brilliance, integrity, and impeccability. And I feel like integrity is really popping out here in this, particularly with the Princess Bari card. She really had in her story, she had a lot of integrity, you know, to go ahead and go down into the underworld to try to find a cure for her parents' illness, even though she was initially shunned by them. So I feel like integrity is going to be a big thing for you. Pile number 2, this jaguar on this card is really standing out to me. Let me see here if it says anything about the jaguar. I know the jaguar can represent intuition. Oh, here we go. The mighty jaguar is a spirit animal to many great medicine peoples in the rainforest. The jaguar has been regarded as one of the fierce protectors of the sacred and seen as a bridge to the upper worlds or messenger from the realms of spirit. Okay, Jaguar spirit rewards you as you stay true to your integrity in moments where you could easily give it away. There you go. So integrity was something I was feeling and I was drawn to that jaguar. So that makes a lot of sense right there. The power of the jaguar is that of the greatest shaman, able to assist in soul work and journeying to retrieve aspects of your power that have been forgotten or remained latent. So I really feel like, once again, integrity is going to be a big thing for you. Pile number 2, but let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards, get a better idea of what this energy is that you are going to be coming into here for this next week. Let's see. So I'm feeling this one, that guy, these two, that one. All right, let's take a look. I feel like we need to pull from the top. So we have 10 of Cups here. We have Page of Cups. We have 10 of Pentacles. I do feel like that needs to be go under here. So that's what we're going to do. Knight of Wands. The Chariot. The Sun. 6 of Swords. And the Magician. Okay, you've got a decent amount of major arcana cards here, pile number 2. So I do feel like there's going to be some major things going on for you. Definitely nothing negative by any means at all. Just some major energies that you're going to be working with the Chariot, the Sun, the Magician here. So I see here with the 6 of Swords really like kind of popping out first for me. I do feel like you're kind of leaving behind I would say a more challenging time, and that's going pretty quickly from your life here, especially with it right here next to the Chariot. I do see too with it over the Magician as well that we're kind of that you've kind of created a situation where this, whatever this is, can go on. Like whatever this heavier energy was is moving on out of your life. You know, you've kind of created that for yourself. You've kind of made that happen, you know, handled that, possibly handled that with integrity. And as a result, you're moving away from this darker energy, or maybe this little bit more heavier energy, stressful energy here. I do see that this week, you're definitely going to be experiencing a much better time. We have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So I'm seeing a very deep level of satisfaction here, both in your personal life and your professional life. Pile number 2. Personal life wise, I actually, looking at this, I almost feel like well, I don't know. It almost feels like this is personal, this is professional, but I don't think that I want to stick to that stick within those confines. I don't know necessarily that the reading needs to be confined to that, but I do see with the Ten of Cups and the Page of Cups, it's almost like a new relationship is coming in. Now, this doesn't have to necessarily be a new romantic relationship. This could be a new friendship. This could be some sort of new person coming into your life here. And I see that that is going to be something that it's going to be exciting for you. And I feel like there's this energy here of, I feel like there's this encouragement here actually to really go for it here, pile number 2, to really go for whatever this is, really fall head first almost into this new energy, this new relationship, this new friendship here. I think that is going to be really advantageous for you. I think it does feel like it might kind of lead to this feeling of being really happy in your personal life here. Now, going along with the idea that this is your professional life, I do see Knight of Wands. If there's something that you've been working on in your professional life, now the professional life doesn't have to necessarily be a career, though generally Ten of Pentacles talks about that, but it could also be school for you if you're someone who is a student. If you're a student, I would generally consider Ten of Pentacles to have to do with your schoolwork, with your studies. I know when I was a student and I would read tarot for myself or receive tarot readings, that's how I always kind of interpreted the Pentacles or the suit of Pentacles for me, because it was kind of a, it kind of is your career. It kind of is your work, during that time of your life when you are a student. So I see that things are going to be going really well in that area of your life. I feel like pile number 2, particularly with this Knight of Wands energy, things will be moving very quickly here for you. And the Chariot too is also, it's also a card about quick movement. The Chariot is more talking about major things going on in your life, major, because it is part of the major arcana. So this is going to be like bigger life events, where as the Knight of Wands is talking about a more mundane type of situation, where it's going to be something that the Knight of Wands is almost like it's a spark of energy, like kind of just a spark of energy, and you just go for it. It's about being very bold here. You notice that the horse is actually rearing back, but this character does not seem, I don't know, you can see with the light being the way that it is, you see that this character is not pressed at all. They are very focused on their goal here. They are not concerned at all that the horse is kind of bucking back or rearing back like that. So I feel like that's going to kind of be the situation here for you, possibly in your professional life, whatever that may be exactly for you, because this is a general reading here. But I do feel like you're going to have a little bit of boldness. You're definitely going to be feeling a great amount of joy, a great amount of sometimes with the Sun, it's almost like, sometimes if you've kind of been through a situation where you're kind of having to leave something heavier behind, the Sun can also kind of talk about just kind of finding this peace of mind. You have so much peace of mind that you can actually experience joy again. Sometimes it's hard to really find that pure joy, that really pure fun. It's hard to really find that energy and allow yourself to be in that energy when you've been through something really rough. And so I do see here that you are going to be able to fully go back into this energy of joy, of feeling total peace, with your situation. The Magician too, I know with the Six of Swords, I do see that it's kind of pointing up to this. So like I said, that's kind of why I felt like you were really the, I don't want to say master or manipulator here, because those can have such negative connotations, but you were really the one who made this kind of made this situation work for you, whatever this heavier situation was, and you walked away from it. Now, it's possible that you maybe haven't gotten quite to this point yet, and this week, this could kind of be the week where you walk away from something that really wasn't working out for you, and you just kind of left that behind. But I see that it's something that that it's a decision that you're making. It's of your own volition. It's of your own creation. That's kind of what it is. It's of your own creation. You walking away, moving on is going to kind of be of your own creation. So if there's something kind of going on for you that has not been very pleasant, that has been a little bit heavy, it's either just ending and you're just now coming out of that, or you will be coming out of that here very soon. But I see that that's going to happen fairly quickly here. We have lots of fast moving energy, you know, lots of positive energy, but also lots of fast moving energy. So I think it is very important to remember to maintain your integrity here, moving throughout this energy, making decisions as you go along this week. I think that there's going to be a lot of great things happening for you really fast. Just make sure you're making good decisions with these blessings that are coming in is kind of what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that there's going to be blessings coming in for you guys, and just remember to make good decisions with those. You know, blessings can easily they can kind of turn sour if we don't make good decisions when we do receive them, if we aren't meeting those with gratitude here. So remember to maintain your integrity here with this coming week as well. I think that it's going to be important. Foresight here is really popping out at me. So I really think that it's going to be important to kind of use your foresight a little bit, kind of, I don't know if predict what's going to happen is the right phrase to use, but maybe just stay mentally sharp and mentally focused, kind of mentally ahead of the game here with everything going on. Sometimes when we have a lot of wonderful, amazing things come into our life, it kind of trips us up. We kind of get knocked out of our routines, or like I said, it just kind of throws us, you know. I've definitely had situations where it's like all these amazing things happen and I'm having a wonderful week, but that just like totally throws me off in other ways though. Like it just totally screws up my gym routine, or screws up my, you know, sleep routine and stuff like that, which then has like this snowballing accumulative effect into the next weeks and can make those a little bit harder. So I am feeling here like it's going to be important to kind of not let all of this wonderful energy get to your head or prevent you from taking care of things that need to be taken care of here. Use your integrity with these blessings that are coming in. I'm definitely feeling that here. Like I said, let's see if I see any other messages for you here, pile number 2. I do see it's worth mentioning here with the Six of Swords that we do kind of see some rough waters here. So if you are already on the other side of this situation where you've chosen to walk away from something that wasn't serving you, which I feel like to a certain extent that may have been what happened. You're already on the other side of this situation. That's why this positive energy is coming in. You know, you've already been through these kind of rough waters. I think that it's important to mention that your guides are acknowledging that's been kind of rough here. Something like the skeleton hand is really popping out to me. Like you have kind of been through a rough situation. I feel like this message, a positive message about how things are going to get much better. You're going to experience a lot of joy and happiness. I just feel like this is a message you really needed to hear, pile number 2. But also, if you're not already on the other side of this and you are just on your way out, walking away from a situation that you knew wasn't great for you, and you've gotten out of that situation, know that there's going to be some rough waters there with that. Initially, it might be really hard to move away from whatever that situation is right off the bat, but it will get much easier. Like I said, there's a lot of great things coming in for you. You will have the ability here to kind of create the life that you want, is kind of something that I'm hearing here. I am feeling like I need to pull a couple more clarifiers for the Six of Swords, even if it's just to kind of give you maybe even a little bit of advice here with this, but let me grab a couple of cards for the Six of Swords just to kind of better understand this energy here, because it does kind of stick out amongst everything else. So I can get about 2 more cards about the Six of Swords here. Nine of Swords and Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this is something that you had been worried about for a while. It's something that was kind of keeping you up at night a little bit with the Six of Swords. I think it's going to be really great that you're moving away from whatever this is. It's definitely going to help usher in this newer, more positive energy. You know, sometimes we have to go ahead and let go of the old in order to allow room for the new. And I'm definitely seeing that here. This may have been something that had to do with your finances, with your career, with your professional life, whatever that may be. You're kind of leaving something behind that wasn't working for you here. I do see that with this coming in, the reason that you felt like you needed to leave this though is so that you could create more balance in your life. And that is something that I'm kind of feeling, is that there was an imbalance in your life and it was keeping you up at night. It was just really causing a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, and you're moving away from that. Pile number 2, you're moving away from that energy. Like I said, either you have just moved out of it or you will be moving out of that very, very soon, sometime within this next week, most likely within the beginning of the next week. But then that is going to allow for all of this more positive energy to come in. I see, like I said, new relationship, maybe new friendship, you know. I really feel like you need to meet that with some curiosity. I think that that's going to be a very positive thing for you. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing for you, pile number 2. Let me go ahead and pull one more card for you just as a final message here. I'll do this with this oracle deck. I'm feeling that one. And we have the spunky squirrel. And it says preparedness, practicality, and manifestation. Master of all hidden treasure, help me guard the things that matter most. Okay, so definitely kind of works in with integrity as far as staying prepared, maintaining this sense of practicality as these blessings come in, as well as looking for kind of hidden treasure and remembering the things that matter the most. You know, that can sometimes be something that our integrity, or that we have to rely on our integrity for, is to remember the things that matter the most. Even when we have all of this, like, you know, money coming in or good fortune coming in or whatever, remember the things that matter the most to you. Take some time, maybe go inwards, maybe carve out some time for yourself to kind of think about that. What really matters most to you? Pile number 2. What are the things in life that matter most to you? And remember to stay practical, stay grounded as all of these wonderful things come in. When you do that, you stay grounded. It allows you to maintain your integrity throughout the next week. And you're really going to be able to fully and truly appreciate and receive all of the blessings that are meant to come to you. So that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number 2. I want to thank you again for watching this video. Thank your guides for coming through to give you this message. Please remember to put any topics that you're interested in, anything you'd like to see on the channel, down in the comments below. I'd love to read those and incorporate those in the channel. But anyways, I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye, pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Perchta card, the monster, with the phrase, the Punisher. So here is your cards. You can see her a little bit better. I don't know what it is. I absolutely love this card. Like, I think she's gorgeous. I don't know. This is an awesome card. I love this one so much. I'm going to get in the guidebook and read her story to you one more time, just as a refresher here before we go in. Her keywords are overworked, perfectionist, and punishment. And her story: coming from the oral traditions of Bavaria and Austria, Perchta is a Yule demon who rewards the most domesticated homes with silver, but tortures and kills wayward women and children. Okay. I feel like I need to read her advice here. I haven't done that for the other piles, but I feel like I need to do that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real fast. It says, Prachta's appearance is asking you to evaluate the ways in which you punish yourself for not meeting unattainable and exacting standards of perfection. Whose standards are these? Could you let those go? Okay. So pile number 3, right off the bat, I'm feeling like perfection is going to be going to be kind of a main theme coming up for your reading or for your energy for this next week, is like this sense of perfectionism and how that might actually be doing more harm than good for you. But let's go ahead. We're going to get another card here. We're going to get one from the astrology or herbal astrology oracle to kind of go along with your reading here, and then we'll pull some tarot cards and really dive into this energy for you for this next week. So here we go for pile number 3. Dandelion, wounded healer. Okay, it looks like the dandelion is ruled by Chiron, and I believe that is Jupiter. Let's get in the book real fast and see. I also see Sagittarius on this card, so you might be a Sagittarius. Don't have to necessarily be, but that's kind of something that I'm seeing here. Also, this is number 53, so 5 3s, those might be important to you. That number might mean something for you. 5s are generally kind of the energy of change. 3s kind of the energy of can be an energy of manifestation, can also be an energy of collaboration here. But let's take a look and see what this says for you. So dandelion, the wounded healer. So the upright is wounded healer, wounds as tools to awaken, healing journey, and inner child healing. Astrological rulers are Chiron and Jupiter. Let's see here. Dandelion is a survivor. It has an extraordinary ability to withstand hardship and thrive in disturbed environments. And that's definitely something that perfectionism can come from. It can come from being a bit damaged in an environment where failure wasn't allowed, where effort wasn't rewarded, only outcomes were rewarded, you know, kind of can lead to a limited mindset rather than a growth mindset, where failure at least means that you tried, you know. And I'm not saying necessarily that you're coming into some time of failure, but I feel like you've definitely been beating yourself up for not reaching some sort of incredibly high standards here. And the Prachta card is definitely asking you to examine these standards and determine where they came from. Are these your standards? Are these your standards? And if they are, and you go, yeah, I hold myself to these standards, then I think it's important to ask, okay, why? Why am I holding myself to such incredibly high standards that are nearly impossible to attain? And how does this benefit me? Does this sense of perfectionism prevent me from moving forward with my goals, from moving forward and taking the initial steps, the necessary steps to starting something amazing and bringing something amazing into your life? Does being a perfectionist prevent you from doing that because you feel like everything needs to be exactly perfect in order to take that first step? That's something that I really feel like you need to hear, pile number 3. I think you need to examine these beliefs and try to determine where it is that they came from, because I feel like they're holding you back. But let's look and see if there's anything else here in the guidebook that just jumps out at me. Let's see. Oh, the guidance here. I think you need to hear this. Dandelion is here to remind you that you can thrive regardless of your circumstances. Take ownership over your wounds, find gratitude in the lessons, dive deep into the depths of your origins, and use your wounding to further define the purpose and healing you are here to transmit and share with the world. Don't let your pain define your personality, but draw from it for strength and purpose. Like Chiron, you are born from the seeds of higher of higher order and intelligence. Embrace this great healing power you've been given and go beyond the outlined path. So yes, you can thrive regardless of your circumstances. Things do not have to be absolutely perfect for you to move forward. In fact, that will actually hold you back. This also says, I'm going to read that again, to take ownership over your wounds and find gratitude in the lessons. So I think, and also dive deep into your origins. Like I said, where are these beliefs coming from here? Who instilled this belief in you that you have to perform absolutely perfectly in order to be valuable, in order to be worthy, in order to even achieve something? You don't have to do something perfectly to achieve your goals. You know, sometimes, most times, good enough is more than enough, you know, pile number 3. But let's go ahead and get some tarot cards and really dive into this energy here for you and see kind of what you're going to be looking at here with this next week. Oh, okay. I feel like those two, this one, and this guy. That one as well. So we have Ace of Wands. This is the first card that really wanted to come out. I feel like these want to come out in this way, so that's how we're going to do it. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, definitely. I definitely feel like this is something that's happening. The sense of perfectionism is happening in your professional life. Now, whether professional means, you know, professional can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people here. Professional can mean your actual career. It can mean your studies, if you are a student here. As well, if you're a student watching this video, I always kind of considered Pentacles to be what that represented for me when I was in school and I was a college student. So that might be something, because it is kind of working towards your ultimate career and your ultimate goal. And then the last one we have here is the World. Yes. Okay. All right. I want to, first of all, apologize for the weird editing. YouTube's guidelines are super strict over nudity. Their guidelines say no nudity with the intent of like sexual gratification, and obviously that's not what this is, but it's like the algorithm has a hard time determining what's artful, tasteful nudity, like what's considered artistic and what's considered a sexual, pornographic, I guess. So I went ahead and I covered up all the female, you know, figures here that were exposed. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're gonna go with it. We're gonna jump right in here. So I see that there's an idea that you've been wanting to bring forth into this world, kind of bring it into being, pile number 3. But I feel like you're not, like I said, with this perfectionism thing, I feel like you're not exactly satisfied with the work that you're producing with it here. If you can see, this character looks very dissatisfied with this pentacle, or just really like apathetic here. You've been really slow to move forward with this idea. I think you've kind of dragging your feet or something with this, because you feel like you haven't been able to do it in the exact way that you want it done. Okay. And I see that this has kind of led you to kind of hold back a little bit. I know you've been kind of weighing your options, trying to decide the best way to move forward with this. You know, I feel like there's almost this sense of like indecision with the Six of Pentacles. Like you can't exactly decide the best way to move forward with this, because you're trying to determine the best way to move forward with this, the way that's going to create the best outcome, the most perfect outcome here. And I think that this is holding you back, pile number 3. I feel like you've kind of trapped yourself here in this situation, or you're feeling very trapped by this decision that you're having to make here. And I think that that is really holding you back and preventing you from moving forward with this idea and moving quickly. I feel like you've kind of like put on the brakes here. If you notice, this horse is not moving at all, you know, almost like they they have no, like they just stopped and they're like, nope, not going anywhere. But this person on this horse, the rider themselves, they don't look like they really are feeling it either. Like they really want to move forward here with this. And I see that this is, like I said, it's really got you trapped. I think that that's the energy that you're kind of going into the week with, is this energy of just dissatisfaction with the work that you were trying to produce, or maybe dissatisfaction with the with these circumstances. You know, I think you have this great idea that you want to bring in here. I see it, you even have the Magician here too. So it's like you fully have the ability to move this idea forward and to make it happen. But it's like there's something here holding you up and making you feel trapped and making and creating a lot of indecision. The Six of Pentacles is ruled by the sign of Libra, and as a Libra moon, I can tell you 100%, oh my God, indecision is such an issue. So hard to make a decision. What's the best decision? You want to weigh all the options. And there are times when that is definitely the right move. Look at all of your options, weigh them all out, determine what is best for you. But I do feel like in this situation, it's actually what's holding you back here. It's not benefiting you. I think that deep down, you know the best way to move forward with this. And maybe right now you're saying, oh my God, no, I don't though. Your intuition does. Listen to your intuition. Slow down, listen to your intuition. And I think you're going to have to just get it into your mind that you're going to have to just get started with this. The Knight of Pentacles, though they are moving slowly, so slowly that it seems like they're not moving at all, though they do seem a bit apathetic about this pentacle, they are still ready to move forward. They are still taking steps. And I see here that this next week, you are going to be encouraged to go ahead and take steps, to go ahead and make that decision, and to free yourself here, from this Eight of Swords energy where it almost feels like you're really in your head, you're really in your feels about it all too. With this situation, if you notice, her feet are sitting here in this water. They're not really totally, the water's on the ground, but she's not on solid ground. I feel like it's going to be very important to ground yourself, and kind of it sounds really insensitive, but come to your senses, and go, okay. Get out of your head a little bit and go, all right, I have to start moving forward. Imperfect action is better than no action, because in the end, what does no action lead to? Nothing. If you don't ever actually take the action, it's never going to happen. You will never be able to manifest and make this, whatever this is, happen for you. You're never going to be able to do it if you don't at least get started. You have to get started, even if it's not perfect. You can work out the details later or work them out as you go. There's a pretty good chance that even if you felt like it was the perfect circumstances and you had everything down perfectly, you would still have to troubleshoot things. You would still be working through stuff as you went. It's not like it would be just a totally smooth ride with, no issues at all, because you felt like you had worked out all the little details prior to even starting. There's going to be things that you're going to come up in every journey, with every project, with every single thing, whether it's, a personal project, a hobby, work, career, studying, whatever it may be, whatever the goal is, you're going to hit snags. That's how life works. But you have to at least get started though. If you don't get started, like I said, it'll never amount to anything. You'll never actually manifest whatever this is into your life if you don't at least get started. And I feel like deep down with your intuition, there's this knowing here, and something that's really popping out at me on this moon card is this, these two figures are very focused on the moon here. I feel like, and their backs are towards this like shady creature coming up. To me, this shady creature represents this sense of perfectionism. It is very insidious. It's something that you might not even be fully aware of at the moment, or it might be something that you kind of try not to be totally aware of, or you feel like it's actually benefiting you to have it there. And sure, having high standards can be beneficial, but when we have impossibly high standards, we're actually just hurting ourselves more and more, and we're not allowing ourselves to go ahead and take the first step and actually create the life that we want here. Now, I am seeing here that it's going to be very important, like I said with the dandelion card, to heal from this. Go ahead and take some time and decide where it is that this belief comes from. You might immediately know. As soon as I say that, you might be like, oh, well, I know exactly where that came from. I know exactly what the circumstances or the situations were in the past that made me feel like I could only put out the absolute most perfect work, or else I would just be, denigrated. That's kind of the word that comes to mind. I'd just be, annihilated by others and criticized so strongly, that I just felt like I don't even want to put myself out there unless I can put out an absolutely perfect finished product. I'm not even going to do it. And I'm telling you, that is going to hold you back in life so much. Pile number 3. And I feel like this week is your week to take steps forward and to move away from that energy. I am seeing here, if you do allow yourself to take steps forward, move away from that energy, we have the Sun card here. You're going to feel so much happiness and joy if you would just allow yourself to go ahead and take those first steps here. I think that that's going to be really, really important for you. Go ahead and take those first steps. I am also seeing with the 3 of Pentacles, it's going to be useful to maybe bounce your ideas off of someone else. Maybe collaborate with someone else. Maybe you've been trying to put together some sort of business plan, some sort of project. You've been trying to get that all together so you can present it to somebody and say, hey, this is what I'm working with here. Can I get your input? Can I get your assistance? Can I get, whatever it is that you feel like you need from these other parties or this other party here? Your business plan, whatever this is, it does not need to be perfect for you to bring that forth and to present that to someone else, to ask for assistance. In fact, you may find that you will actually end up being closer to perfection whenever you receive input from others. Now, I'm not saying that perfection should be what you are chasing here, because that is impossible to achieve. However, I do think that by inviting others into this situation, you are going to have a much more you're going to have a much better outcome. You're definitely going to feel a lot of joy. I think you're going to be very happy with this. You've got to free yourself from this. Get yourself a little bit more grounded. Get out of your head, a little bit. Something that I see too is she has this sword, this dagger here that like immediately popped out. I feel like it's like you're harming yourself with this, it's like this, almost this act of like, self-harm by insisting upon meeting these really, really crazy high standards that are just not possible for really anyone to meet. And I think you're not letting yourself down. Your standards are just too unreasonable, too high, for whatever this is. So I'm seeing here that the energy that you're coming into with this next week is going to be this energy of collaboration. If only you will take free yourself, listen to your intuition with this, and take your first step. You're going to find yourself much happier with this. You're going to find yourself in a position that is a lot more advantageous for you. And I'm seeing here, by taking these first few steps, by allowing yourself to release this need to achieve absolute perfection, you're going to be ending a cycle here Pile number 3, you will be ending a cycle that I feel like has been, I almost want to say it's a generational cycle. You know, you picked up this belief from somewhere, and they picked up that belief from somewhere, and they picked up that belief from somewhere. This could go back really, really far within, you know, multiple generations here, because most of the time perfectionism is coming from childhood wounds here. And I think that that is something you will really be healing that. You'll not just be healing yourself, but you will be healing future generations as well, particularly if you do choose to have children at some point. But even if you decide that that's not for you, you will still, it's something that you can tell others, hey, I beat perfectionism. I had a problem with that. It made me really stagnant. It kept me afraid of putting myself out there and held me back from meeting my true potential and reaching my goals. And you can, and it's the ability to help others and to spread that message and go, hey, you don't have to be perfect to do the thing. You just have to do the thing. You know, like I said, if it only sits in this stage of conception, but it never actually moves forward into being birthed into the world here. If it only sits in the stage of conception and it never grows from there, it doesn't exist essentially. It will never happen. You know, you have to take the first step in order to actually make it happen for yourself. And I think that when you do that, you are going to feel so much freedom. Personally, I think professionally as well, because I feel like this is something that you take into every single facet of your life. You know, your relationships will be much better too, because you are going to be, because I feel like, you know, with this sense of perfectionism, we tend to hold others to this really crazy high standard as well. And that's just, and no one can meet those standards. No one is perfect. So inevitably you're setting your significant others, your friends, just the other people in your life, you're setting them up for failure because you're expecting, you know, perfectionism when that just cannot be achieved. So, you know, you're also setting yourself up for disappointment when you also are insistent upon perfectionism in all these areas of your life as well. So I think that by doing this and by really paying attention to this energy, delving into where it is coming from and releasing that, I think you're going to be closing a huge chapter and ending a really harmful cycle that you have been stuck in. Pile number 3, I think this is going to be a really meaningful week for you coming up, you know, and let me tell you, I'm really giving you all the encouragement here, really encouraging you to let go of that sense of perfectionism and just take the first step. I promise you, it will not go as poorly as what you're afraid it will go. Just because you don't have every single detail worked out and it's not absolutely perfect. Go ahead and get some input from other people, you know, some advice, some direction here from others. I notice in here something that pops out at me is that this lady here is a bit older. Perhaps you can get some advice from someone who has a little bit more experience in whatever area it is that this is in. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be older. You know, there are people who are fairly young, but they've done a lot, or they know a lot about something, and so they can really give you some good advice and some good feedback here. So I think that is going to be something that you can really utilize the other people around you, and really begin to work on this and close this cycle. You know, I think end this cycle, close this chapter of your life. I think that's going to be very, very advantageous for you, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get a final message for you from your guides for this week. Something that they'd like you to know to close out this reading here. Oh, there's 2. Okay. We have the Honorable Horse. with freedom, leadership, and intuition. And it says, swift beast, dashing between worlds, show me your daring and graceful ways. Okay, let's talk about this one real fast before we move on to the next one under here. So intuition is a big one. Freedom is another thing that I'm seeing. You are going to feel, like I said, you're going to feel so free whenever you allow yourself to release this need for perfectionism, release this need for perfection. This is going to give you a type of freedom in your life that I feel like you probably haven't totally experienced before. You are going to feel very free and very happy when you go ahead and let this cycle end for you. And like it says, intuition, use your intuition to help you know the best way to move forward and when it's time to take that step. You know, even if the situation isn't totally perfect, that's okay. It never will be. You know, like I said, if you don't take the first step, it never happens. So, and it's interesting too, we were talking about how this horse is very just standing still here. And then we have this horse that is reared up and ready to go. I think that you are, like I said, you're really going to feel a lot of freedom here whenever you let go of this need for perfectionism. And then we have the fabulous flamingo with friendship, poise, and purpose. And it says, brilliant feathers and bright beak bring balance back into my life. Yes, you are also going to feel a sense of balance as well. Pile number 3, whenever you allow this need for perfectionism to go out of your life, I feel like it's knocking you off balance, you know, and preventing you from really being able to move forward. Friendship is also popping out. So like I said, collaboration with others, possibly friends, running an idea by friends and saying, hey, what do you think about this? You know, maybe you have your own business and this is a new product that you want to put out and you go, hey, what would you guys buy this? Would this be something that you would be interested in as a consumer? You know, what are your ideas on this? How much would you spend on this? You know, et cetera, whatever that may be, you know, definitely take the time to run it by others, you know, and remember your purpose, you know, with this too. What's the overall goal? The overall goal is to not be perfect. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of what this is here? Keep that in mind, you know, as you move forward and as you ask for advice. I feel like that's something to remember, you know. And I think that that's really all that I'm seeing for you, pile number 3, with this week. I wish you all the best and all the luck in the world moving forward with this idea and moving out of this feeling of needing for everything to be perfect and for circumstances to be perfect in order to really start chasing your goals, chasing your dreams. I have complete faith in you. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, watching this video. I want to thank your guides for coming through with this message for you. Also, don't forget to please leave some topics or ideas you'd like to see in the comment section below. I'd love to read those and begin incorporating those into readings for you guys every week. But thank you guys so much again. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel so much. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.